Here's what happens to your grades next semester if you keep watching study motivation reels instead of actually studying. 1. You're developing what neuroscientists call motivation addiction. Every time you watch a how to study YouTube short or Instagram reel, your brain gets a tiny dopamine hit from imagining success. But here's the cruel part. Your brain can't tell the difference between planning to study and actually studying, so you're getting rewarded for doing nothing. You scroll through how to study videos, save 17 different note-taking techniques, and feel productive while your assignment sits untouched. You've tricked your brain into thinking you've already done the work. 2. You're creating what I call the inspiration loop of death. You watch an Instagram reel about someone acing their exams. You feel motivated for exactly 47 seconds. Then what? You watch another reel to keep that feeling going. And another. 3 hours later, you've consumed enough study content to get a PhD in watching other people study, but you haven't written a single sentence of your essay. The irony? You're now too mentally exhausted from scrolling to actually do the work. Your brain has spent all its energy processing hundreds of videos, and now the real task, the one that actually matters, feels impossible. 3. You're killing your ability to do deep work. Your attention span is now shorter than a goldfish on energy drinks. When you finally sit down to study, your brain is still in scroll mode, craving that next hit of novelty every 15 seconds. You read one paragraph of your textbook and immediately feel the itch to check your phone. This isn't willpower failure. You've literally rewired your neural pathways to expect constant stimulation. The prefrontal cortex, which handles focus and self-control, has gone on vacation because you haven't actually used it in weeks. Here's the worst part. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes disaster to everyone else's carefully edited success story. And every minute you spend scrolling is a minute you could have spent building your own story worth sharing. But here's the comeback, and it's simpler than you think. Tonight, before bed, delete Instagram and TikTok from your phone. Not later, tonight, just for 3 days. I know that sounds terrifying, like I'm asking you to cut off your arm. But here's what'll happen. Day 1, you'll panic and reach for your phone 60 times. Day 2, you'll get bored and maybe, just maybe, open that textbook. Day 3, you'll actually start studying. Not because you're motivated, but because you're bored enough that studying becomes the most interesting option available. And that's when the magic happens. You'll discover that real studying, the kind that gets results, doesn't require motivation. It requires boredom elimination and the absence of more appealing options. Once you make it past day 3, your brain starts healing itself. Your dopamine baseline begins to stabilize. Tasks that seemed impossible last week now seem manageable. You can read for 20 minutes without checking your phone. Then 40. Then you're in flow state, and 2 hours pass without you noticing. The hippocampus, your brain's filing system, starts working properly again, so you actually remember what you study instead of rereading the same page 7 times. Your default mode network reactivates, which means you start having original thoughts in the shower instead of just replaying trending TikTok sounds in your head. So the question is, do you want to be the person watching success or the person living it? Stop scrolling. Start studying. Your future self is begging you. Follow for more no-nonsense study strategies that actually work.